All right, let's dive right into today's deep dive of our source material, where we're tackling what is hands down the ultimate frustration for pool owners everywhere, the dreaded black algae. I mean, if you've ever stared into the shallow end of your pool and just felt a sense of utter defeat, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it.
So here's a scenario you probably know way too well. You're looking at these small, dark, pinhead to quarter-size spots dotted all over your pool walls and floor. And you throw absolutely everything you have at them. You dump in a gallon of liquid chlorine, you crank the filter, and you wake up the next morning fully expecting victory. And nothing. The spots are still right there, literally mocking you. So why are we fighting this relentless enemy that just seems entirely immune to normal chemical warfare?
It is an incredibly infuriating cycle, isn't it? You brush the spots, you shock the water, they kind of fade for a couple of days, and then bam, they're back in the exact same locations. So the crucial point we really need to highlight from the sources is this. Assuming these spots are just stubborn standard algae that need a bigger dose of chlorine, that is exactly how you end up wasting half your summer and honestly a whole lot of money treating the completely wrong problem.
Let's move into Section 1, the black algae deception.
Aha! So, to win this fight, we actually have to understand what we're looking at. And our sources point out a massive revelation here. We aren't actually fighting a simple plant. What's really wild is that the word algae is incredibly misleading. Black algae isn't algae at all, at least not in the way most of us understand it. It's actually a cyanobacterium. It's a colony-forming bacterium that has quite literally been evolving for billions of years to survive conditions that would instantly obliterate normal microorganisms. We are dealing with the ultimate survivalist.
When we break down the anatomy of this enemy, it's basically a three-tiered fortress. Each visible spot in your pool is not just a single organism, it's a layered shield. Up top, you have this dark, waxy, hydrophobic armor that blocks UV light and just completely deflects chemicals. Right beneath that shield is the living mass of the colony itself. And below that, deep penetrating root-like structures called holdfasts. These things anchor deep into porous surfaces like plaster, concrete, and grout. So that visible black dot, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The real threat is buried beneath.
When you compare green algae and black algae, it becomes crystal clear why treating black algae like standard green algae is a guaranteed recipe for failure. Standard pool chlorine works by essentially burning through the cell walls of free-floating, single-celled organisms like green algae. But against a layered black algae colony, the chlorine just hits that waxy outer armor, gets totally consumed in the reaction, and never even reaches the living cells underneath.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact problem. The experts at APR point out that the waxy coating on black algae is completely hydrophobic, so water-based solutions, which absolutely includes your heavily chlorinated pool water, simply bead right off of it instead of penetrating. You are basically running a sprinkler over a freshly waxed car and wondering why the engine isn't getting wet. Honestly, it's brilliant biological engineering, but it is an absolute nightmare for your pool.
Section 2. Choosing your weapons.
Okay, so now we know how the enemy operates. It's time to shift our tactics and gear up. And I want you to burn this foundational rule right into your memory. The brush is not optional. Before you put a single drop of chemical into that water, you have to physically breach that protective waxy layer. Without aggressive physical breaching, no chemical is ever going to reach those living cells. You literally cannot just pour your way out of this problem.
So here is your specific tactical toolkit. You're going to need heavy vinyl gloves and protective eyewear. You need a targeted copper or poly 60 algicide and a granular shock, something like calcium hypochlorite or dichlor. But the absolute MVP of this entire kit? The brush. Now, if you have a plaster, gunite, or concrete pool, you absolutely must use a stainless steel brush. A standard nylon one just won't cut it. However, and this is a massive warning, do not ever use a stainless steel brush on a vinyl or fiberglass pool. You will tear the liner or completely scuff the gel coat. For those surfaces, just stick to a firm nylon brush.
Moving on to Section 3, the treatment sequence.
All right, we have our intel, we have our weapons, now it's time to execute the battle plan. You need to follow these 6 steps exactly. Step 1. Scrub every single spot with serious heavy pressure to crack that armor. Step 2. Bring your free chlorine all the way up to a shock level of 10 to 20 parts per million. Step 3. Apply your algicide directly over the spots if you can. Step 4. Run that filter continuously for 24 to 48 hours to clear out all the dead cellular material. Step 5, and this is absolutely crucial, Brush it all again at the 24-hour mark to expose even more of the colony while the chemicals are high. And step 6, repeat. Guys, this is not a one-day job. You're really looking at 1 to 3 weeks of consistent treatment. Now check out this fantastic insider pro tip uncovered in our source material. For those incredibly stubborn spots, especially the ones deep in grout lines or tight corners, you can use the trichlor tablet trick. Put on those heavy gloves, take a compressed chlorine puck, break it in half, and physically rub that jagged edge directly right onto the black algae colony. This delivers a sustained, highly concentrated chemical attack exactly at the point where you just breached the surface armor. It's incredibly effective.
And finally, Section 4, preventing the next outbreak. Okay, so let's say you've spent weeks brushing, shocking, and scrubbing. The spots are finally gone. Huge win! But our job isn't quite over. We have to secure the perimeter so this ancient invader never ever returns. Here's your baseline chemical defense. You definitely need to keep your free chlorine around 1 to 3 parts per million. But you also need to pay special attention to the pH targets here, between 7.4 and 7.6. The experts point out that if you let your pH drift too high, say up to 7.8 or 8.0, your chlorine's effectiveness just drops off a cliff. You might look at your test strip and think you have plenty of chlorine, but a high pH essentially cripples it, leaving your pool totally vulnerable to recolonization. Now, beyond chemistry, you also need a mechanical defense. And this is exactly why robotic cleaners are such a brilliant investment. They act as this ever-present patrol for your pool. By constantly moving over the walls and floors, they provide regular surface disruption. Basically, they disturb the microenvironment before those tiny early-stage hold-fast roots even have a chance to anchor into your plaster. We are going to wrap things up with this incredibly provocative warning from our research. Think about the brush you just used to fight the algae. Any brush, any net or pole that contacted that colony is now a carrier. Dried cyanobacteria can actually remain viable for a really long time. If you don't sanitize your tools with a diluted bleach solution or just replace them altogether, you might accidentally reinfect your own pristine pool the very next time you clean it. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Is the enemy still hiding right now out in your pool shed, just waiting for its next opportunity? Check your gear and stay vigilant out there.